Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amaluddin bin Fauzi. We are from Group 8. Today, we will present about vaccination and pilgrimage around the world. So, this is the list of our group members. Okay, next slide. This is what we're going to present today, starting from introduction, the journey, value, statistic, and lastly, the conclusion. Okay, so we go to the introduction. First, we go to the definition of vaccine. Vaccine is referred to dead or weakened pathogen that been introduced to our body in order to make them able to recognize the pathogen. Vaccine teach the body to recognize harmful pathogens. Okay, next we go to the definition of pilgrimage. Pilgrimage means a journey. In the presentation, we will tell how a vaccine was developed, what is the challenge, and what has it achieved. Okay, next we will go to the purpose of vaccination. First, to stimulate our immune system to produce antibodies. So that if the virus invades in the future, our body is capable of fighting the virus. Second, for preventive measures. We also use vaccines to prevent us from getting deadly disease. For example, polio vaccine. I believe most of us has taken the polio vaccine while we are baby because it is included in National Immunization Program. Okay, next slide. Okay, I'll pass to the next presenter.
Okay, as for the journey of vaccine, next. As early of 200 BC, the idea of vaccination has arisen, as in that time many types of diseases cannot be solved using only medications, causing many deaths. So they use the inoculation technique to get immunization from the smallpox and other diseases. And this method has been used by a Chinese emperor and he survived the disease. The inoculation technique is done by grinding up smallpox caps and blow the matter into the nostril. The smallpox is a disease, next, that started in India in 1545 and continued to spread around the world to North America and Native American. In 1700s, cotton mather used the African that immune to the disease for the virilation technique. In 1770, a farmer found a method to protect people from smallpox by contracting cowpox, but did not publish his finding. And inoculation became mandatory to all troops in New Jersey as the disease were used as war weapon to kill the soldiers before. Later, Edward Jenner suspected the same agent cowpox caused diseases in horse. Next is the timeline of vaccination in 1860 until 1900. So in 1850, the United Kingdom vaccination have approved an act of vaccination that made smallpox vaccination mandatory in the first 3 months of infant's life. Next, 1860, a scientist have started a new strain of vaccine called Bougainville vaccine strain. And lastly, Louis Pasteur produced the first laboratory to develop vaccine in 1870. So I will pass to our next presenter to tell you about the journey of vaccination later. Thank you.
Okay, during the timeline early 90s to 1962, there are many occurrences happen, including the discovery of the first human virus, the construction of hygienic laboratory, the mass of mosquito control, the creation of laws and act on vaccine, the outbreak of measles, the finding of poliovirus strain, including the distinguish between bacteria and virus that is smaller in size that can pass through the bacterial filter. and also the discovery of self and non-self in human system. In 1905, vaccination become compulsory due to its success. However, the development of new disease and the occurrence of the new disease and the nature that and the viral nature that cannot cure bacterial disease cause doubt for people or the citizen. So in 1926, the opposition of vaccine had awakened, but the investigation keep on going until 1931. There are new discovery regarding the vaccine that improve the vaccination itself. Thus, in 1949, vaccination become a success to use, and um, they and create many more of the vaccine. Proceed with the next presenter.
Okay, let's continue the timeline from 1963 until 2000. From 1963 until 1969, there was a few vaccine license was introduced, as example measles and mumps swab, and also the rubella. Other than that, the attenuates also was introduced between the 1963 until 1969. In 1970 until 1979, the vaccine for swine influenza pneumococcal vaccine also were introduced in order to overcome or prevent from the infection. And also in 1980 until 1989, also the vaccine also they have several license of vaccines such as HDCV like vaccine license, chickenpox virus strain, and also the new pneumococcal vaccine was expanded from the 14 strain to the 21 strain. In 1990 until 1999, this we can see the awareness among the community about the importance of vaccination become increased. Example, the massive vaccination was occur in India, and polio immunization effort was done in the Sudan. And in 2000, we can see the effectiveness of the vaccine, or the impact of the vaccine is the measles elimination was occur in the US, and 99% reduction of polio cases in the world, and also the production of conjugate vaccine for the baby, specifically for the pneumococcal virus. So it is about the timeline for the journey of the vaccination. Okay, let's move to the value of the vaccination.
Okay, so I will continue with the value of vaccination. Next. Okay, so the first value of vaccination is it can reduce mobility and mortality rate. So Dr. Chan, who is the director of WHO Director General during that time, said that at least 10 million deaths were prevented between 2010 and 2015 thanks to the vaccination. So the next value is it can promote national economy. So this is because when people have better health conditions such as better physique, cognitive, and economic growth, they can be more productive for the country compared to the people who struggling with their health condition. So the third value is it can improve public health. So public health is defined as the science and art of preventing disease. So vaccination, it fits very well in this category because to this date, the World Health Organization has declared that there are two diseases that are officially eradicated from this world, which is smallpox and rinderpest. So even though there is only two diseases, this is a big achievement because we are not talking about the disease in one country, but the disease in the whole world. Okay, so next. Okay, so we proceed with the statistic. Next. Okay,
So this statistic, the data is taken from the historical mass vaccination programs in United States, involving three diseases, which is diphtheria, polio, and measles. So from this graph, we can see the effectiveness of vaccination in reducing the number of disease, as there is almost no more occurrence of this disease several years after this program started. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, lastly, we go to the conclusion. Okay, so for the conclusion, we have learned that the concept of vaccine has been applied for a long time. Starting with the inoculation, we can see that Edward Jenner used inoculation to prevent smallpox. Next, the Koch postulates, which allow us to know about the microbes that cause the disease. And today, we have many vaccines that have been used, such as polio, hepatitis B, and other else. Next, the effectiveness of vaccine has also been proven. For example, smallpox has been eradicated because of the usage of vaccine. Okay, next slide. Okay, so in 20 March 2020, there are around 6 million um, has registered for COVID-19 vaccine. That's only covered 25.1% of Malaysian population. There are 74.9% people still not registered for COVID-19 vaccine. Therefore, I want to ask all my batchmates to register for COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, I think that's all from us. Thank you.